Good morning and welcome in, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I would like to go over a quick overview of what is transpiring so far this morning. XRP, a very critical level we talked about yesterday, at $2.45. Had we have gotten over and been able to hold, we would have a technical play up to about $2.80. However, not once, but twice yesterday, we were rejected at the $2.50 mark, and we talked about the scenario where if we came up here and got rejected, this could be a resistance, and then you could very well go into an ABC correction, which could drop the price from $2.45 all the way down to about that $2.08 area. There's a fair value gap right around $2.05. So it is not out of the realm of possibility that this just and then bounces off of here again. This pennant flag is very bullish. Unless it were to break down, pennant flags are very bullish. We have the higher lows and lower highs successfully. This pennant flag very well could take another couple of weeks to play through. This very well could play out until Trump's inauguration. Either way, unless this breaks down, this is a very bullish setup. About 78% of the time, a pennant flag plays out to the top side. And about 70% of the move is where you anticipate that move to happen. Right now, we are around that 70% area, but we've been blocked off twice here by the $2.45, which, if anybody watched the update yesterday or the days to come, or before, the days prior, on what was to come, we've talked about when it was down here at $1.98, even if it came up here, that could just be a bearish push, and then we have an ABC correction back down to initiate wave 5, but it's very difficult to tell. Very difficult to tell which way this is going to go, but it is my inclination to think that if we can't get past here, there's no reason to think that we're not going to come back down towards that fair value gap at $2.08. We've seen quite the reversal out of, a few different things, not everything, because you've still got H-bar right now up 3%. You've got VELO up about 6.4%. So those are a couple that are at least still moving. So not our whole portfolio is bleeding. But we've got gold up $14 right now, which leads B2 Gold up about 1.5% in pre-market. You've got silver up over $30 again, up 1%, and that leads Fortuna Silver Mines up about 0.5%. So at least commodities are starting to move a little bit today. Bitcoin's back under 102,000, so we'll take a look at Bitcoin. We'll take a look at XRP, and then we'll get into the heat liquidation map for Bitcoin, because we talked yesterday through the heat liquidation map, and we came out and wiped out a bunch of those layers, and we'll see what's left above. We'll see what's left below. We'll see what kind of influence is going on the XRP side with open interests and leverage traders and such, but we got to get through this in a timely fashion. Got to get my son to school at 8:20, and then I'll go to the gym. Then when we pick him up at 11:30, we got to go right to his rehab today. He's got his food therapy. And I'll do an update there as well. And then as long as everything goes good tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll do a live. Yesterday, I forgot I had a prior obligation. We got, that time of the school year where kids have their events and yada, 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 so on and so forth. So I did miss everybody last night. But again, we're right back here together. And tonight we'll be together at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So with that being said, good morning. 7:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, January 7th. 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. As crazy as it is, closing off the first week of January already. Wow. Unbelievable how fast time goes. Don't forget to give thanks to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, as it's always a beautiful morning when we get to spend it together. And we want to stay humble and show humility in all times, whether we're doing good or we're doing bad. A lot of times the best character we can show is when things aren't going our way. We continue to grind, we continue to push forward, and we continue to be motivating. And maybe we can change something for someone out there. So XRP sitting at $2.41. Best way that I can put this, because we're still following within the pennant flag, is exactly what I showed everybody when the start opened. If this pennant flag gets rejected here a second time, the more than likely scenario is going to be to come all the way back down to around the $2.08 mark. Probably $2.05 if we come into that area, only because we have a fair value gap down there. Now, there is a chance to hold. There's a mini layer. I just want everybody to be aware of it. If it comes down, you could technically have like a mini layer of support where, and then it could be more of a traditional flag. But if it comes down, there's really no support until you get back down to the 200 at 218. So you'd either fall down to 218 or like 215 to 218 area, or you'd come back down to the uptrend all the way at 208. But again, with the pennant flag, you usually break out 70% of the move. So you start coming back down towards support. You're going to start to get the gaslighting of the downward move, which I'll gaslight as well because just in case it falls through. But we already know the target. If it falls through around that 208 level, I've already put that target down, and that's at $1.05. And then we know we've got the monthly fair value gap at $1.82. That's the monthly FVG. So if it were to fall out, there is a scenario where we could fall out but still stay bullish and have a quick V-shaped recovery. But that is not the scenario, FYI, that I am looking for, because if it falls out of the pennant flag, just common sense would tell me that we're falling bearish. And then, yes, it could hit that fair value gap, but then it looks like you would hit a fair value gap at $1.82 just to come back up to $1.98 to $2.02 for a rejection. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for carry through, not fall through. So if that is the case, we'll stay on top of it. But that is what I'm going to be watching this morning. So if there's anything you could get on the first 6.5 minutes of this update, is the fact that as XRP doesn't get through $2.45, which it's hit twice now, then we would have to come back down. That's still a big, it looks like a flag, like a bull flag still set up. So until it gets invalidated, we don't have to worry about it. But the moment it would lose, around that $2, I would say 230, then it's a good indicator that we're going to come down to 218 at least, likely 205 area because of the fair value gap in the short term. But that's just my interpretation of what I'm seeing. What you might be seeing might look different. And like I always preface this, I am not a financial advisor. I don't pretend to be one. I never want to be one. I think they're sleazeballs, and I'm not going to participate in their game of bullshit, basically, because they tell you to buy the FANG stocks. Y'all think they're doing a good job, even though you could simply buy Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Google, Alphabet. It's not very hard. It's really not hard to buy the ones that are way up and that everybody else is telling you to buy. Every slooge who doesn't really understand the market will tell you to buy every single one of those. And yes, normally and at times of good market, they're up, which everything else is, and you make the least return. That's just fact. And then when the market goes down, those are the ones that are the hardest hit. The FANG stocks are the single biggest ones hit initially because that's where the big guys take out. And then what do you think they do? They send their little investments. They get their little bonuses at our expense. So be very careful when you're looking at a financial advisor. But if you want to be one for yourself, you got to make a decision. Is that a bull flag? Is that some kind of flag that's going to play out to 280? Or is this going to get rejected at 245 and we're about to start coming down again? That's something that I can't tell you. That's something that I'll observe. I don't make a prediction. I just let the charts do the talking. So as much as everybody likes to say in the comments that I'm right or wrong, I'm just basing it on the public opinion of the charts in front of me. So that's my public information. They're showing me everything I need to do, and I'm basing it off of what they're showing me. Bitcoin's at 100,790. Still, is this a V-shaped recovery back up? And are we going to come up to that 122,000? Or do we eventually fall through this broadening wedge, the rising broadening wedge, and never go back up to the technical target? I still think it's a better than not shot to get up there. It's just when. Do we come down before we go up? Do we come up and create this head and shoulders pattern like we talked about? Because the 122.7K, that is the technical target from the cup and handle breakout, and we've never fully filled that. So that's something I'll be watching for the days to come. And then we'll know in the 2 hourly if Bitcoin is going to come for a further correction. If we come through 100,500, further correction. Because we break down the 20-day, and then we come down in the 30-minute to 200-day, which is at 99,200. So if 100,500 breaks, next target's 99,200, FYI. Now, I'm going to have to go here just very shortly, but I want to share this real quick with the Bitcoin heat liquidation map. And then I want to look at the open interest very quickly with XRP. Very, very quickly. The hell? Oh, I'm sorry. I turned off my, not sure why, but I don't know. You guys know how it is. Sometimes things get shut off. So anyhow, we came up to these demand zones with a lot of liquidation. If I put it into the monthly, which is what I think is the best way to look at this, and I won't stay on this long. We'll revisit this in the live tonight. But we came through these massive liquidity areas. Remember 600, 800, 500, 400 million through all these areas. Now, when you look above, we've got a couple hundred million. Hey, this is the big area still. Where was this at? We talked about this yesterday. If we could come up just a little bit higher. There's actually a few of these areas now that are starting to open up. Because you're looking for these 400 million or higher areas, in my opinion. Even 300 million is not bad, but look at that. 412, 461 at 105,800,000 roughly. So, I mean 105,800. So we've got some high liquidity areas. If this is a cup that's filling out, massive liquidity up here as well. Couple $1 billion up here from 108,500 to about 108,800. You've got several $1 billion. And to finish this cup, 109. It's looking like it's coming back up. We have a short-term cup filled, but if we're coming up, we got layered. Next layer would be around 106,000. After that, 109,000 roughly. And there's a lot of liquidity up there. So that's where we'd be looking if we continue this. We'll revisit that during the live just to make sure that we can stay on the same page. But like I said, I'm up against it with time. In the long versus short ratio for XRP, this is the leverage trading market. In the 5-minute, 30-minute, 1 hour. Oh, wait a minute. I should probably refresh this just to make sure. Yep. In the 5-minute, we've got 68.83% to 31.17% going short. That's a 2.21 to 1 long versus short. In the 30-minute, 1 hour, 4 hour, and daily, we have a 2.2 to 1 long versus short. A lot of confluency there. 68.75% going long, 31.25% going short. And right now it looks a slightly bit bearish here to start the morning. Liquidations, we've had 2.5 million in long liquidations, 2.7 million in short, so you're not safe anywhere. Funding fees are probably all positive, yep. And then, let's see. Let's see what the basis is real quick. No, everything's fine there. Open interest, we have plus 3.76% overall, plus 3.77% in the perpetual market, and minus 1.29% in the futures market. So that's where we stand in the morning. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. If you appreciate what I do, make sure to hit that like button. Share this on social media. And join the over, what are we at now? 30,500 plus subscribers. And then if you're looking to trade crypto, if you're looking for a no KYC and VPN exchange, that would be BITUNIX and HOTCOIN. BITUNIX has the lowest maker-taker fee. So if you're a high-volume trader, if you're a six-figure trader, go to the lowest maker-taker. They have many of bonuses. If you trade lots of money, they have lots of bonuses on probably the highest on BITUNIX. And they've got a slew of cryptos, XRP, and a whole bunch of others. HOTCOIN has the VELO, XDC, IOTA, and several others. And then Crypto.com is where you can buy DGB. They have the crypto debit card and many, many others. I have probably, I think, 10 or 11 different cryptos on there. PayPal, Cash App, Venmo if you want to send a donation outside of YouTube or joining Tom's Army. I would greatly appreciate it if you want, but it is not required. All my content is free. And then other than that, just pay attention to the market flow. We'll be back for a short today before I pick my son up from school. And then while he's in his food therapy, we'll do another update. So we'll get back to the basis here in the next couple of hours. Stay transparent with yourself. Don't lie to yourself, but be prepared for what could be coming in the market.